All right, what's going on, everybody? Big news from Kobold Press today. It is Friday, so they're doing their Project Black Flag Friday. They're dropping a little bit of news about playtest packet number 2, as well as a Kickstarter. So it's kind of crazy. We're already getting a date for the Kickstarter. So they kind of go through a little bit of the feedback from playtest number 1. We've talked about it. Kind of lackluster. They just kind of redid backgrounds and heritages and stuff like that a little bit, and then just changed around feats to traits. It's fine. So let's see what they've got coming up and find out when the Kickstarter is. It's the first Friday of March. Today we're up in the crow's nest looking around a survey of where we've been and where we're going with Project Black Flag. Right now we're compiling feedback from playtest packet number 1 and preparing playtest packet number 2. Let's talk about both of these packets and what's coming up after that. So, looking back at playtest packet number 1, huge thanks to everyone who downloaded, gave feedback. We're still looking through all your thoughts, ideas, suggestions. Celeste, our lead designer, said it best. She's the one, I think she was working on it last summer. She's been working on this for a long time, and all the news and everything just kind of coincided with D&D tripping over itself. She says, thank you so much to everyone who shared your thoughts in the first playtest packet. We received so much positive feedback about design direction. You all gave us a great idea of what you want to see for the game. We are claws deep in the next playtest packet. We can't wait to hand you a heaping serving of fresh content. I hope there's more content, if I'm being frank. Just didn't seem like a lot for a playtest. I know it was the first packet, but it was kind of lackluster. Here are the big points we collected from playtest packet number 1 feedback. Develop existing talents to build out the full talent catalog. Streamline the organization of heritage options. Revisit lineage and heritage options to improve balance. I didn't really... Was there balance issues with that? I thought it was just building your character how you want. Like if you're a dwarf raised by elves, did that need balanced? Eliminate the forced choice of either ability score increase or gaining a new talent for class milestones. So I wonder if they're going to do... I wouldn't say both on the same level. I feel like that would just be like a huge spike. But maybe they'll give you a talent and then like a level or 2 later they'll give you your ability scores. I think they'd have to spread it out, because if they're going to give you both, like that would be a huge level 4 power spike. And then clarify mechanical language. Again, I kind of talked about this with the language. D&D kind of overdid it. I felt like I was a lawyer, like reading law. Like it doesn't need to be so complicated. I understand that certain spells and stuff need a little bit more clarification, but as far as like the way they word things, I just don't think it needs to be as complicated as they make it. So maybe they're going to make that a little simpler. Maybe they're going to clarify mechanical language. I think that's what that means. I would be down with that. It doesn't need to sound, like a deposition every time that you want to make a new spell or something. We're listening and putting all the notes in order. So now, here we go. Looking ahead, playtest packet number 2 is scheduled for mid-March release, so this month. Here's what we plan. So they're going to add the changes to playtest packet number 1 that will affect playtest packet number 2. Changes to spellcasting rules for robust and thematic concepts. Characters find their magic source among the 4 circles of magic: arcane, divine, primordial, and weird. Okay, I like that. I like the change to the magic. 4 circles of magic: arcane, divine, primordial, and weird. Yeah, I like that. I get the concept and the robustness of having divination, necromancy, illusion, abjuration, conjure, but at the same time, that clarifying mechanical language, putting it into the 4 sources, the four circles of magic, I really like that. And I can see maybe doing, kind of a Venn diagram kind of thing where these two kind of fit together, those two. That'll be interesting to see how they do that. Previews of the new Arcane Circle ritual list. An updated list of spells you know and love from the SRD. Okay. The first 8 levels of the fighter base class, including features of 2 fighter subclasses, the same for the wizard. Um, I wonder what they're gonna change with the classes. A new fail forward luck mechanic to replace inspiration, transform failure into a spendable resource to influence future rolls. I kind of like that. I think the problem with inspiration, both as a player and as a GM, I always kind of either forget to award it or I forget to use it as a player. And it'll be like the end of the session. I'm like, oh shit, I had inspiration I could have used. Um, I don't know, that fail forward luck. I can see how that might be, how some tables might want to leave that out. Just because if you put yourself into your character and you're like, oh, wow, I suck at this, I failed. And then all of a sudden on your next one, you're better. It's like, well, why did I get better on this one? Unless it's like I learned, if it's like the same kind of trap or something, and you're like, oh, I learned not to do that. You know, learn in 300 ways not to make a light bulb kind of situation. I dig it. I'm down for it. And then a handful of new talents. By new, I want to know if they're new or a rewording of the feats. So I hope they're new. That'll be really cool. That's really neat. So playtest packet number 2 already looks a lot beefier. The spell casting rule change, getting to see some new, the way they structure the classes and stuff, that'll be interesting. Sticking with the subclasses, because everything is 5e compatible, so they're going to be going back to that. So I'm excited. I think this one will be better. Seems a little bit more beefier, a little bit more things to it, and more unique things like the fail forward luck, the arcane circle ritual list, spellcasting rules, the 4 circles of magic. I like that. That's all good changes. I assume, it's still going to have abjuration conjuration because it is backwards compatible. So there are still going to be, all those schools, but it's interesting that they're kind of dividing them among the 4 circles of magic. I'm interested to see how that works. And on the horizon, we're planning a Kickstarter campaign for Project Black Flag in May this summer. When this hits, we'll release a quick start rules compilation based on your feedback. As always, rules are subject to change. So in May this summer, looking forward to a Kickstarter, which is kind of crazy. I mean, was it February? We got playtest packet number 1. March, we're getting playtest packet number 2. April, May. I mean, that doesn't seem like a lot of time, does it? I'm okay. Let's do it. And then want to get first access to our playtest packets, fill out the form online. So here are some thoughts from different people talking about it. Why can't you just put out a full playtest? How am I supposed to evaluate everything without the context of the full system? If you're changing little enough from 5e to where I could just go off that, why even bother making a system? Yeah, be patient. I mean, Kickstarter's not a final product. That's true. Excited for Black Flag, especially after the D&D debacle earlier this year, not being super impressed with the one D&D so far, but you guys are moving really, really slowly. But you guys are moving really, really slow. I think they're moving really quickly. I know it's been in development for like nearly a year. Like they've had this in their back pocket, but I feel like this is going pretty, like since they announced it and since the D&D stuff has been happening. So I'm not sure about that. Hard to imagine how this is ready to kickstart in May based on the first packet. Barely any. So there's a lot of, could you please consider Project Black Flag to be funded by us and free for all? You have an excellent step-by-step system. So there's a lot of people who are a little conscious of what's going on. I don't think there's really anything to worry about. This is, the artist has just started on the canvas. They've got 4 different colors filling it up, and they're saying, "No, look, can't you see it? It's right. Like I'm painting this. There's a woman here, and then everybody else walking by is like, hey man, I see 4 colors." But when they finish that painting, everything's gonna be there. So I think this is a double-edged sword. By wanting to keep everybody up to date and show everybody what they're doing, at the same time, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot because people aren't seeing the big picture. They're just getting little snippets here and there. They're not really able to put it all together in their mind. I can see why people are upset. I understand, but at the same time, you got to let the painter paint. You know, you got to wait until the finished product. From here till now, in May, a lot can happen. I mean, yesterday we announced our TTRPG Forsaken Heroes. We're gonna be playtesting soon, and I mean that's gone pretty quick too. And it started out, just months ago, really. So these things can move pretty quick, especially when you know what you want, and they already have. They're building off of 5e, so a lot of that structure is already there. And so we're kind of getting the decoration pieces of it. So I would just say be patient. I think that there's a lot more that's coming, and we just got to wait. We just got to wait to see all the pieces put together. Playtest packet number 2 already, in terms of content, already much beefier than playtest packet number 1. You're looking at new spellcasting rules, the new fighter wizard base classes, the new luck mechanic, preview of the arcane. Like, there's a lot of stuff in this playtest packet number 2. Is it a playtest where you're going to get around the table and try out a lot of these new mechanics? Probably not. Probably not. You might. But I think we're being a little too harsh. If I understand the criticism, but just wait, yeah, you just gotta wait. So playtest packet number 2 is coming out mid-March. I'd say probably 2 weeks if I had to guess. And then Kickstarter in May. So to end this, I would just say we posted a video yesterday talking about our playtest. You can go to our website, Astral Door Gaming, link in the description below, and sign up for our playtesting. We're starting out with our combat, our new action economy system, new spellcasting system. We want to get that out in front and kind of show everybody kind of the beefiness to it, kind of show everybody what we've been working on. We have the 4 playable classes. We have 12 total, I think. So there's a lot of stuff going on for us. And if you want to sign up for that, you just go to the website and click on the newsletter. We're going to be putting out a email here next week, I think. I think next Friday. Detailing what you can expect from our first playtest. We're doing our own playtesting within the next week and kind of getting it all figured out. So a lot of different options out there right now for gamers. D&D, not so much D&D, more WotC. Wizards of the Coast really shoved us all into the flame there for a little bit. I know a lot of people have already gone back. They're like, hey man, I just want to play D&D. I get that. I understand completely. But if you're looking for something new, if you want to support third-party creators, look at Kobold Press, look at Paizo, look at us, maybe, so check that out. So that is Project Black Flag Friday. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited for playtest packet number 2? Do you think the Kickstarter in May is going to be ready? And have you signed up for our playtest? Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and until next time, friends.